Our final writer tonight, his name is Corey Discovery Dillard, and he performs as a poet, playwright, author, actor, and teaching artist, and twice has had the privilege of opening for Buddy Wakefield during his 2014-2015 World Tour. He's a program director and teaching artist for the Teen Writers and Artists Project, hosting wordplays in Elgin, St. Charles, and Mooseheart here in Batavia. Corey aims to crystallize the human experience into hyperbolic, sometimes humorous, bite-sized moments of self-expression. Obsessed with all things ridiculous yet real, Corey employs personas and characters to add the emphasis to his performances, but always embraces the need to own his voice, no matter what he does with it. He's online, of course, and unlike most guys his age, he has a couple zillion ways to connect, and the list is way too long, but it's listed in the program. So you can visit one of his 2,000 websites at some point. Corey, please.
Music stand? We don't need no stinking music stand. We'll break the microphone just for fun. Artist. In the mouths of many, artist is just failure, painted with the only color their tongues can muster. Artist, huh? What does that mean exactly? I mean, that can't make you happy. Standing on the sidewalk strumming for change to help you change the string that you broke when your broke ass was singing about change. Come on, man. Typing away at keys in your mama's basement. Your parents still pay your rent. The last cent you spent was on a writing program so you could churn out more sellout crap that no one cares about. I mean, come on, man. Why would you want to be an artist? Why would I want to be an artist? I don't. I never did. If I could, I would have studied something simple. Business marketing. Computer tech. I'd work a 9-to-5, gain respect, climb the ranks, run think tanks, play office pranks, eat Franks for lunch, make a bunch of money, marry my high school honey, make sure my son is funny so he can do it too, kiss my 2 beautiful grandchildren on the forehead as I lie on my deathbed, say, thank you for staying with me, and die happy. If I could, I would have done just that. But my first and fondest memory is of writing a book about a monkey escaping from the zoo. Still have that book too. I remember winning awards for Pokemon fan fiction in grade school. I remember my girlfriend telling me I wasn't cool because I thought about books too much, and then kissing her for the first time and having to write a rhyme about it. I remember finding sanctuary in an auditorium because my heart put a moratorium on finding love anywhere else. This is where you belong, it said. This is where you belong. This is where your song sings out the loudest, where you feel the proudest, where the crowd is everything you ever could have dreamed of. This is where you're great. This is where you're loved. And for God's sake, this is who you are. I never asked to be an artist. I never asked to be born either. Some things just happen, whether you want them to or not. Hi, everybody. So, I'm a big fan of people just walking up and just starting like, I don't need no introduction, but I will give some introductions to something. So, I've got 3 more poems, not including the one that I just did. 3 more, obviously that doesn't include the previous one. Come on, Corey, get it together. And so this next one is one that I haven't done for an audience yet. And it's a bit of a hot button topic, which I usually don't do because a lot of poets are like, hot button topics, I want to press your buttons. That's not exactly me, but this one does hold a place in my heart, and hopefully you won't want to kill me after you hear this poem, but I think I'll be okay, but again, I haven't done this for people, so we'll see. So this poem is entitled Barbarians. Ask them. Ask them why, and they'll always say the same thing. Don't. Just don't. Just don't do it. Don't do it. You don't do it. Nobody does it, especially not here. Just don't do it. And no matter how much you pry and pry, their reply will always be the same. Just don't do it. A simple Google search yields no better results. It's etiquette. It's history. It's science. It's juvenile. If you do it, you are a juvenile. But you know what I think is juvenile? Caring what someone else puts on their goddamn hot dog! Ketchup. One of the most common condiments in the world, often associated with French fries, chicken nuggets, tater tots, and meatloaf. But when it comes to hot dogs, ketchup is the redheaded stepchildren beat the living crap out of. People don't get upset about the fact that animals are trapped side by side in cramped wire cages, tortured by monsters disguised as men, and killed in the most painful and inhumane ways. People don't get upset that a hot dog is literally composed of everything deemed too disgusting to go into steaks, ribs, briskets, and tenderloins. People don't get upset about the fact that regular hot dog consumption has been linked to leukemia, lymphoma, cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. But if I were to squeeze one bottom-heavy red bottle over a bun filled with discarded animal parts, I could burn Chicago to the ground. In the November 21st, 1995 issue of the Chicago Tribune, Mike Royko said, no, I won't condemn anyone for putting ketchup on a hot dog. This is the land of the free. If someone wants to put ketchup on a hot dog and eat the awful thing, that is their right. It is also their right to put mayo, chocolate syrup, toenail clippings, or cat hair on a hot dog. Sure, it would be disgusting and perverted, and they would be shaming themselves and their loved ones, but under this system of government, it is their right to be barbarians. Barbarians! Oh, it's science. It is scientifically proven that the complex combination of pink meat and red sauce will instantly decay your brain to that of a Neanderthal. You will rip the constricting clothing from your ape-like flesh and reach for the nearest club-like object you can find. If you are inside when consuming this meal only fit for infants, you will leap out of the nearest window you can find, but fret not. By this time, your mind will have discarded the part of it that can process pain. You will rain down all manner of hell on squirrel and pigeon and small children and feast on their flesh and bones. And as you do, a small part of you, the last inkling of your humanity, will not be able to help but notice how no one is saying a goddamn thing. No red dots on my head? I'm good? I'm good? Okay. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so this next poem I've been doing pretty much ever since I started doing kind of performance poetry. But I recently discovered kind of a different way to perform it that kind of adds a new flavor to it. So I'm gonna try out this new way and see how it feels. Maybe I'll go back to the old way, maybe I'll stick with this way, but it's fun and enjoyable, so. I'll just get into it. It doesn't need an introduction. Hey, Ales, the vengeance. He is the night. He is my Savior. All praises be to Batman. I'm glad y'all could join me here tonight because I once was a scared Gothamite. I once was afraid to leave my house for fear that I might be gassed by a man dressed as a scarecrow, that I might partake of a toxin that would cloud my vision and leave me in a land of horror. I was afraid to walk out my door for fear that a plant-like woman would place her leafy lips against mine and bury me in the soft earth of temptation, that I might grow into a weeping willow of sin and perversion. I was afraid to look out my window in the winter for fear that a man clad in a cryogenic suit would blast his icy ray in my direction and leave my heart cold and frozen to the love that surrounds me. I developed ornithophobia, a fear of birds. I developed umbrella phobia, a fear of umbrellas. Because a man who bared a striking resemblance to a penguin, with a partial bottle in his eye and henchmen at his back, once held me up at Parasol Point. I was afraid, my friends. I was quite the joker, on the verge of insanity, laughing maniacally, trying to cover my face in clay and makeup, to try to cover up the self-inflicted scars that cover my skin like tattoos. I gave up my right to choose and left everything to chance, flipping a coin in the corner of my room, just waiting for heads to come up. I was riddled, my friends, perplexed, confused. I did not know when a door was not a door at all, but a jar. Until that one faithful day when I looked up into the night sky and I saw an insignia of my saving grace. And on that night, he led all of the sources of my trepidation into Arkham Asylum. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So now every night, I get down on my knees, I clasp my hands together, and I say, all praises be to Batman. All praises be to the Dark Knight. May your wings be dark and swift and carry me to a Gotham I can be proud to live in. Amen. I think I like it that way. I'll give that a try. Maybe a couple more times. It was fun. It's fun. Okay, so I have one last poem. And as you guys can tell, I really like putting on characters. And I use characters more as tools, not to like kind of escape my own feelings. It's ways that I use them to heighten my feelings. I really feel that art and poetry is really hyper reality. You know, like when you see heartbreak in a movie or on TV, that's what heartbreak really feels like. It may not be the ripping your clothes off, Stella! Stella! But it'll feel that way. That's why poetry and art and all these things hit us so much, because our emotions are so much bigger than what our bodies can really comprehend. So that's why I often use characters and voices and really kind of make things bigger, because I just want to capture the feeling of the moments and the things that I'm expressing. So I have one last one. It also has a bit of a character, but this is also one that really kind of comes from a very kind of significant place to me. And the character is very much a person that is me, just in a more hyper-realized way. So this last poem that I have is entitled Quasimodo. I'm afraid of the way I look at you, as though my eyes are being clamped open and you are vising. You are the most beautiful girl that I've ever seen, and that scares me more than anything, because I'm an addict, and I can already feel myself getting addicted to you, to the way that you move, to the way that the earth seems to stop and let you pass. I swear, if I could, I would lie in your path so you would never have to touch the filth of the earth ever again. I would hold an umbrella above your head for all eternity if that would mean getting next to you, standing close to you, feeling the heat rise off of your skin, but that might make my heart want to leave the container it's in. That happens to me all the time, you see, because apparently I'm not all that good with women. When I'm around them, I get caught daydreaming and scheming about ways I can make them say my name, because for some reason, it always sounds better when they say it. They make music magic. They make hugs heal. They make me break into cold sweats and stumble over my words. And they make me very aware of my eyes and my hands. No, I wasn't trying to touch you. It's just that I'm sure if I held your hand, you could make me walk off a cliff. And no, I wasn't staring. It's just that your eyes are so deep, so rich, so pretty. They make me want to write poetry. They make me want to dedicate my life to alliteration and rhyme and Shakespearean sonnets. A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. I just wish I could make something, anything, as beautiful as your eyes are. But I'm awkward. Afraid, really, of women with dejection on the lips. I can't take rejection, and this is why I never ask or approach or even attempt to. There was this girl, as pretty as a perfect painting brought to life. Her artist must have been a meticulous mastermind who made sure every hue, every curve, every line was on point. When she thought nobody was around, she would sing like a caged bird. I just wanted to let her out so she could fly around my heart until the day I died. But then she noticed me. And when she did, she called me a word that I don't want to be, and it traumatized me. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I didn't want to speak to another girl again. I just wanted to be a friend and maybe a little bit more. Now that word was like a bruised and sword that refuses to heal. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I am so sick of my problem, of my predicament, of my condition. I just wish I could talk to her, could talk to you, could talk to any woman as though they were a normal human being. Wish the words, "Hi, how are you?" didn't feel like a death sentence. I don't want to be me anymore because I am awful. I am awkward. I am afraid. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. All I wanted was to be with you, but I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you.